material to the metal. We're gonna take it to a whole nother level tonight. Alright, a whole nother level.
Being a camera reviewer and somebody that absolutely loves the art form of photography and videography, I constantly am trying out the latest and greatest in camera technology. One of the things I feel like gets missed quite a lot, at least today, is the fact you can pick up some really decent cameras that are used. Now at Camera Centre UK, if you want to check out any of the used cameras, just go over to our website, go over to the used section, and you can actually see some really cool cameras for some really decent prices. Today, what I'm going to be testing out is this. The X-Pro2, which has actually got like a pretty much cult following, and I can see why. Anyway, let's move on. Of course, when it comes to the X-Pro2, you've actually got just a 24 megapixel APS-C size sensor. But the really thing that stands out when it comes to these older Fuji cameras is really the color that you can get out of the images. You don't necessarily need to shoot RAW in order to get an incredible looking image. You can literally take a photo and have it pretty much ready to post whenever you want. And that's why people are looking more and more to the X-Pro series, but also Fujifilm in general, is because it takes the complexity out of photography and really just gives you what you want to be doing, and that's shooting and enjoying and just being curious about what is around you and what you really enjoy. The thing that I really like about the X-Pro2 is that it's a rangefinder style camera, which means it's a little bit less intrusive compared to your professional looking mirrorless SLRs, DSLRs, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's something which people kind of feel really calm about. So for professional photographers, it really fits quite well in with in the camera bag. The other side of it is the WR lenses from Fujifilm, because they're weather resistant. It makes it pretty amazing in pretty much any kind of condition that you're really putting it through. But the other side of it is because they're nice and small and compact. It's kind of like, you feel like you're in a sort of flow state with photography, and that's what I would say when it comes to Fujifilm cameras in general, is they very much have this kind of flow state to them. There's nothing really taken away from what you're doing, it's only adding to what you're concentrating on. That's kind of the majesty, if you will, it's a bit cheesy, majesty of what's around you. Anything can be interesting, and that's what I love about photography, is you can pick up new compositions, you can take new styles of shots, but when it comes to these kind of cameras, they really push you into a place which you would otherwise not necessarily be. And when it comes to the specs of the camera, it's not crazy compared to what we see today. It is 7 years old after all, but technology back then was simpler. And I think as a society, and as we take photos, enjoy, grow into these newer, fancier cameras, we actually really miss what really counts, and that's if it can take a good photo. But that's something which I want to know from you guys. What really counts in a camera for you? Is it the specs, or is it something which you feel is right in your hand and you can use to the best of your ability? Isn't it funny that some of the things that we remember best about a place, an area, a location, shows that we watch on TV? Yanto Jones Memorial is right behind me, and it's a shrine to a character that died on a TV show. But with that, when you think about it, a model of cameras really kind of bring out the nostalgia in us. And Fuji cameras are like that in general. You have them in your hand, you feel a certain way about them, as it reminds you of a past that was simpler and a past that in very many cases was better. The X-Pro2 is a camera which has a lot of fans behind it, and what I would say is that it's incredibly responsive. It's a camera which takes absolutely gorgeous looking images, and it's really just effortless. Yes, it doesn't have the highest spec, it doesn't shoot 8K, 60, 4K, whatever, it just shoots as HD. It just has a 24 megapixel sensor. It has an APS-C size sensor. The autofocus is okay, it's not fantastic, but it's not also terrible. What you get out of this camera is what you put into it, and what you remember about the camera is always the best moments. Now, I did a review comparing the X100 to the X100V, and those are two cameras from two very different times in Fujifilm's history. The hybrid viewfinder here, I think, is actually one of my favorite viewfinders. Of course, you can use it naturally like a normal viewfinder that you would find on rangefinder cameras, but then you can also use it as an EVF, and the EVF from a 7-year-old camera is just impressive, and it's incredibly nice just to use. The point of this is I shoot a lot on my phone, but it's never really anything I care about. I think simplicity when it comes to what we shoot with is not necessarily always what it's cut out to be. Getting yourself a camera and something separate from a device which is always in your face is ideal, and the X-Pro2 I feel like is excellent in that retrospect. Again, it's all about nostalgia, it's all about how it makes you feel whilst you're doing photography, and the X-Pro2 I think is excellent at what it does, and that's just have fun. Is that cheesy?
No.
Sounds cheesy, doesn't it? Anyway, if you like this video, make sure you like, follow, subscribe if you want to see more. Have a good day, and don't worry about simplicity, just enjoy a little bit of complexity. Yeah.